So, welcome to day 2. At this point, you are now very aware of what has been causing your personal manifestation work to not work consistently, or to just have some kinks in the chain of connection, if you will. So this is day 2, and with day 2 we are going to talk about how to get it to work for you. So just recapping a little bit from day 1, it's normal if you're confused about trying to get this to work and it's not been working consistently, because there's certain things that you may have missed out on. And the biggest takeaway that I want you to take away from, I should say, day 1 is that your belief system has everything to do with what you manifest. So your belief system can be things related to religion. Your belief system can be things related to gender roles. Your belief system is every single thing that makes up how you show up and are perceiving your world based off of your experiences. So it's really important to realize that if you are in a mental belief system that you have to work really hard in order to make a lot of money, but you want a lot of money, but you don't want to work hard, what you're asking for doesn't actually line up with your belief system. So you have to change your belief system. You have to change your perspective. You have to adjust what you're seeing so that you are open and really available to seeing and experiencing that new thing or those new things and experiences that you have been desiring. So again, the key from day 1 is realizing that your belief system is what has been holding you back, deciphering what your belief systems are, and evaluating and shifting those belief systems in areas that you see would be most beneficial for you to do so. Only you can do that for yourself. And that's the key. A lot of belief systems have come from cultural or societal norms that don't really line up with what you actually want deep down inside. And that's fine. But the key is being honest with yourself about what it is that you want to experience and realigning your belief system so that you can actually experiencing that. Sometimes it may be changing your friends. It could be changing your perspective. It could be changing your atmosphere, things that you do, people you hang out with. All of those things can have an impact on your perspective and what you're actually manifesting. So with day 2, how to get it to work for you. First and foremost with day 2, before I start with how to get it to work ethically, it's not appropriate to manifest something that directly interferes with someone else. So it's almost like the idea from the Bible. I'm pretty sure the Bible does say this, and it's not just a story or whatever, but it's like, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So if you wouldn't want somebody taking something away from you, then you don't attempt to take something away from somebody else. That's a really simple way of approaching it. It can get deeper than that, but that's a real simple way to kind of start off if you're questioning if what you're trying to manifest is ethical or not, if you will. So, for example, if you're trying to bring back somebody from a relationship, that actually sends a mixed message to the universe, because you are coming in abundance and asking the abundance of the universe, yet you're limiting it just to one person, and you are taking away that person's free will. So what does often happen is that you get that person back, but that relationship does not last, or it ends up not being the kind of relationship that you want, and you just stay in it because you feel like it's what you asked for. So being aware of things like that when you're asking are key to asking for things to manifest. Scarcity thinking is often what keeps us down. So if you think that there isn't enough for you, then there will not be enough for you. So if you're asking for an abundance, you're asking for a monetary increase this week, if you don't think that you can actually get it, then it defeats the point of you asking for it. It's not about you knowing where it's going to come from. It's not about you controlling the narrative. It's about you requesting and staying in that space of knowing that what you've asked for, you're going to get. And by staying in that place, what helps to keep you there is imagining what you will do with that money, for example. Imagining what you will do in a new relationship, for example. If it's you want to have cooking classes with that person, see yourself with another individual with cooking classes. You don't have to have the detail of their face. If you want them to be taller than you, imagine them taller. If you want them shorter, imagine them shorter. Your imagination is yours. And it is with that imagination that things actually start to take shape, because you are calling things that be not as though they were. You are making things happen because you want them. It's the idea that a child often gets what they want, not always by using words or even, full sentences. And it's because they believe that they're going to get it, because they have such intention. They haven't been on the world long enough not to know any different. So their intention, their knowing is so focused on that one thing that it happens. And you may think, okay, well, it's just because they're crying or because they keep asking in words. But still, it is that manifesting, because they're holding on to that idea of what it is that they want and believing they're going to get it, and acting from a place of abundance, not scarcity. So if you believe that you only have one person for you, that's scarcity thinking. You have to, and this goes back to the idea of manifesting for relationships, have to have the understanding that we have many soulmates, we have many twin flames, we have many people that we have soul and spiritual connections with. All of those people do not necessarily incarnate at the same time. So you saying that you want to meet your soulmate or be with your soulmate can mean so many different things. But that does not mean that that is just one person. The person that would have been your soulmate when you were 20 is very different from the person that could be your soulmate that you're introduced to when you're 40. And it's not because they are any lesser or greater value or amount of being your soulmate. It's just because of free will, it's because of timing, and it's because of things that we as spirits sign up for when we come to this earth at this particular time. So if you believe you have only one person, that's scarcity thinking. So allow yourself to think larger and greater than that. In the same vein, if you think you only have one job, one career path, one thing that you can do, that's scarcity thinking. Even if there's only one thing that you really, 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 really enjoy doing, there are different avenues that you can do that one thing so that you can make money in a way that feels good and comfortable and ethical for you. And what feels good and financially sustainable and ethical for you would be different from someone else. And that's the beauty of the life that we're given and the ability to manifest and create. And the key, the thing of it is that we create our own reality. Back to kids and animals can manifest things very quickly and easily just because their minds aren't blocked by anything else. They see what they want, they know what they want, and that's all that there is. They aren't blinded or confused by other things. So remember that you're creating your own reality and that your words and thoughts have energy. Your words and thoughts have energy. The universe doesn't understand jokes. The universe does not work on losses. So be very, very clear on what it is that you truly want. Focus on what it is that you want. So if you want to, let's say, if you want to, see, I can't even say it the wrong way. If you want to weigh less, instead of saying I want to lose weight, say I'm so excited that I weigh less. I'm so excited that I weigh, and then say whatever the weight is that you want to be at. Instead of saying I want to lose 15 pounds. Let's say you're at 150 pounds and you want to be at 135. Instead of saying I want to lose 15 pounds, saying I weigh less. I'm 15 pounds lighter. I weigh 135 pounds. Those are definitive statements. Those are statements that have already happened. There's no questioning it. So being aware of your words, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of how you kid around, how you joke, it's very, very important. Be sure not to say that something is killing you, or that something is getting on your nerves, or they're a pain in the neck, because essentially you are causing unnecessary problems on yourself. And that's because your words and thoughts have power and energy. So making manifesting fun is important, as well as being clear. So a lot of this is about finding clarity and following up with it. Visualizing yourself already there, not in a state of want. So where this comes into play is if you ask for something, you want to manifest something, and then you get it and you realize, oh, this isn't exactly what I wanted. So I always bring up my father asking and writing down for a house by the lake. Well, what he really wanted was a house on the lake. Well, guess what? They have a house by the lake. And I bring this up because he knew as he was writing it, what he really wanted was a house on the lake. But his belief system was such that he believed he could actually have a house by the lake. He couldn't see how he could actually have what he wanted, which was a house on the lake. But he could see how he could have what he actually wrote, which was a house by the lake. So it's very, very, very important for you to know your belief systems, what you think you can have, what you think you can achieve, and how that lines up with what you want, because you will want things and ask for them and get exactly what you're asking for, but not what you actually. So when you're doing that and you're asking for these things and you're getting things that are close to what you wanted, but maybe not exactly, then that's the opportunity for you to start playing around with things, to see what about your words you may need to shift, to see what about your intentions you may need to be clearer with. So much about this is the clarity and the following up and visualizing yourself already there, not in the state of want. Going back to the losing weight example, the state of want is I want to lose 15 pounds. The state of being, the state of already there is I weigh less. I weigh 135 pounds. So being in that state of already there and playing with it, being clear and visualizing yourself, you can manifest anything of any matter, because that's just how things work. You can manifest more than one thing at a time, but be careful about linking or connecting manifestations. So if you want a career, a husband, and a house, be clear on whether or not you need all of those three things to come together or at the same time. Because if that's how you're putting it out there, that's how you're going to receive it, whether that's what you intend or not. So this, again, goes back to being very clear about what it is that you truly want to experience and not what you think you can have. Being very honest and clear about your belief system and where you stand with things truly is so important, because once you are able to know that, then you can manifest things more effectively. So if you don't need the house, career, and partner, husband, wife, spouse, whatever, if you don't need them all together, then make sure that you're saying that as you're asking to manifest. I'm so happy that I have this career, and then you talk about your house, and then you talk about your spouse. You don't say it all together. That's how you separate it so that it's not connected. Because a lot of times people are wondering, well, why is this taking so long? And it's because of what you've asked for and how you've asked for it. So be very careful and aware of that. So know in your heart that they're separate. Don't make one contingent on another unless it makes sense to do so. Like a new job with a pay raise, for example, is okay, but or put it all out, but have the universe figure it all out. But that has to be your truest intention. So being clear on what your truest intention is so important. You get clear, you put it out to the universe, you let go, the universe responds. In order to get clear, I instruct my clients to journal, meditate, visualize, and use affirmations. Often I hear people say that they've tried one or a couple or sometimes all of these things and they've had no luck, at least not consistently. And the issue still comes down to belief systems. Are you asking for something that you really believe you deserve and that you can have? Being honest and self-reflective is really the only way you can be aware of your belief systems and adjustments and make the adjustments where necessary. So if if someone says that, they've meditated, then I ask them, well, what do you believe about meditation? What does meditation look like to you? Because there's a belief system there. If they say that they've tried it and it doesn't work, well, maybe they believe that meditation is sitting cross-legged with a, firm backed chair, for 30 minutes with your eyes closed. Well, that's not all that meditation is. That's meditation for some people. But meditation can also be taking 30 seconds and closing your eyes and breathing in and out and noticing your breath. That's meditation. Meditation could be eating and turning off your devices, turning off TV, and concentrating just on the food that you're eating. That's a meditation as well. So understanding that belief system that someone has, that meditation is sitting for 30 minutes with your eyes closed, and alleviating that as the only way to meditate, and allowing them to see different ways to meditate, that shifts their belief system, and that shifts their ability to shift other things in other areas of their life. So that's just a brief example of how deep belief systems go, how much they matter, and how fun it can be to unpack this and to understand exactly where you may have gotten, a little hung up with your manifesting and where to make those changes. So with this course, you've got some things that you can go through. There's the questions. There's a checklist. There's manifesting exercises that you can go through that you can actually play things out, so you can play with manifesting. There's a workbook, and there's also journal prompts that help you with uncovering things, that help you with discovering things about yourself as well. So there's no particular order that I suggest you do the additional additional pieces, I will say. I just suggest that you do go through all of it and start with what feels like the thing that you need to start with and go from there. So I am again available via email with any questions that you have regarding the course or on your own personal journey. I want to thank you again for being a part of the 48-hour Manifest Reset course family, and I hope to see you in the other 2 courses that I have about shadow work and intuition versus fear. Have an amazing day, week, month, year, and life. Be well.